was a disappointing season for Chris Collins last year. 9 less wins than the year before. But one of the big stories is they're back home. Their new arena is ready. Let's listen in.
We'll take questions. Well, good morning. Good to see everybody again. Before I get started, obviously we lost a great member of the Northwestern basketball family last night in Tex Winter. I got to know Tex a little bit. He was an assistant coach for my father with the Bulls in the 80s, and terrific basketball mind in person, and just want to wish his family all the best. Tough loss last night. But, coming into the season, as all coaches are now, we haven't lost any games, so we're all really excited. We all feel really good about our teams, but I'm looking forward to seeing what our group can become. We have a really interesting mix of newcomers and some mainstays, and I've been really proud of the leadership of our senior class in the offseason. Derek Pardon, Jordan Nash, and Vic Law. They've really set a really good tone for 6 new players, 4 freshmen and 2 transfers that we're going to count on. So we're still in the process of figuring out kind of how our pieces fit, who we're going to be as a team. I think we have good players. I think we have a good mindset. Obviously, we're opening a brand new arena this year, which is going to give us a nice jolt of energy, getting back home, getting back on campus. Really excited about what that's going to bring for our team, and really looking forward. It's going to be a great conference season. A lot of good teams, terrific coaching, obviously, and I mean, there's no new, for the first time in a while, there's no new coaches. So every program in our conference has a good culture and has a good plan, and the games are going to be hard fought, and I think it's going to be up to us to become that tough-minded group that finds a way to win in a tough conference.
Thank you, Coach. We'll open the floor for questions. First row on our left.
Coach, obviously 2 years ago, make the tournament, not last year. And for a gentleman like you that's building a program, how do they take the next step from going to not just celebrating a tournament, but now being there consistently? How do you teach them that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mindset. It's a consistent work ethic. We're very proud of what we've done over the past 5 years and how we've grown. And you learn lessons along the way, good and bad. And, I think for our older guys, specifically Vic Law and Derek Pardon, having the year 2 years ago where we were really together group, we played really well. And then last year, just could never put all the pieces together and kind of find that consistency, I think shows the value of what you have to do day in and day out. You can never assume anything. If you have a lot of guys coming back and you feel like you're the same team, every year is new, and you got to work every day as if you have never won a game, and you got to build that camaraderie again, and you got to build that teamwork again. And I've been really proud of our guys, the way they've handled the offseason. We don't talk about last year. I think that's redundant. I think we look forward, and we have a lot of new players. There's new blood in the program, new energy, and we're excited about what can potentially come of our team this year. And we know it's a new journey, and we've tried to work incredibly hard to get ready for the season.
Fourth row.
Eli Herskovich with 670 The Score. Chris, your team struggled shooting the ball, especially from deep last year.
Yeah.
How much do you expect to focus or have Brian Taylor as a focal point in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, we would get into ruts offensively at times. And it's hard to win when you have 6 to 8 minute stretches in games where, you don't score or you go into that drought. And it's something we've really tried to address in recruiting, and having a guy like Ryan Taylor, who's coming from Evansville, was the leading scorer in the Missouri Valley, is an elite level shooter and shot maker, is going to give us another potent weapon, I think, offensively. I feel like we have more shot makers than we've had in the past, and certainly we're going to really miss what McIntosh and Lindsey brought in the backcourt. But I think with some of the pieces we've added, and the ability to have more guys who can put the ball in the basket, hopefully will help some of those offensive woes that we went through at times last year.
Fifth row in the back.
Charlie Goldsmith, the Daily Northwestern. Obviously, in the past couple seasons, the question of who's going to bring up the ball and initiate the offense was pretty clear. Is there an individual who might be stepping up into that role, or are you looking at some more unconventional options?
I think it's going to be maybe a little bit of both. We have a couple guys in Jordan Ash and Ryan Greer, who are more point guard types. And then I think you'll also see us take a look at more unconventional lineups. I feel one of the strengths of our team is our versatility on the perimeter. Guys like Anthony Gaines and A.J. Turner, who's a newcomer who sat out from Boston College, and Ryan Taylor and Vic Law and Miller Kopp as a freshman and Pete Nance as a freshman. And so I feel like we have a lot of guys on the perimeter that have length, that have size, that can score, can do a little bit of everything. And so I think you'll see us take a look at different lineups and kind of find that right mix. Certainly we don't have anybody who's going to do what Bryant McIntosh did. He was a special player and did a lot of great things in our program, but I think we can be effective in different ways, and I think you'll see us take a look at some different lineups and some different things offensively to tailor towards what the guys we do have can bring to the floor.
A great reporter at the back right.
This Vic Law guy seems very interesting. Seems like a dynamic guy. I want to know how you're going to use him this year.
Well, I hope he plays some defense. It's special to have Vic Law back for his fifth year. Vic was the first guy who committed to me when I first got the job at Northwestern. We have a special bond because of that. He's been an incredible leader for us, and I've always said Vic is the jack of all trades type of player. He's at his best when he's impacting the game in a lot of different ways. I think he can score, but I think he should be, I really believe he's a leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. His defensive versatility to guard 4 positions, the impact he can have on that end, on the glass. And, I'm really going to challenge him from a leadership perspective, with a lot of new guys, the connection that he and I and Derek and Jordan as those older guys, we have to collectively lead this group and make sure that we're always on the right path towards winning. And he's done a great job with that. And I think you'll see Vic have a really good year this year. How's that sound? Was that a good answer?
That was a good answer.
All right.
The left front row.
Hondo Carpenter, Spartan Nation. Last year, Miles Bridges told me that it was ridiculous the NCAA kept him from spending time with Tom Izzo. That's why he came back. And engineering students certainly aren't hindered. Do you think it's ridiculous that the NCAA's rules committee is made up of bureaucrats and there's no coaches?
I guess the way you put it, look, I think they're trying to do the best that they can. There's been a lot of talk of adding more former coaches and people that are going to be in the room that can give a coach's perspective. And, inherently when it comes to spending time with the players, I've always believed that the guys who want to be good, they want to be coached by their coaches. They want to get on the floor. So I think there's a fine line figuring out the time management. They did give us a couple more hours than we've had in the past when it comes to being on the court with our guys in the off season. And I think more of that is nothing but a positive, because guys are going to be training. So if you're not letting us work with them, they're going to find it in other avenues. And so, the guys who want to invest and want to be good, they want to be able to work with their coaches. So anything we can make, any steps to continue to do that are very much positives in my book.
Coach Collins, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you guys.